welcome to KatieOTalks. My name's Katie and this is where I talk about my hobbies. So I just kind of wanted to keep the momentum going like I mentioned in yesterday's video. I know that not a lot of people are probably going to watch these, but I just want to kind of maintain some sort of consistency. So like I said, I'm trying to this whole month or during the Tour de Fleece work on uploading every single day. Anyway, so I'm gonna start with what I've finished over the last 24 hours. I have a plan, which is that I want to get all of my projects off the needles that I can manage. I do like to keep more than one project going because I like to have different things for different situations. I like to have a sock for whenever I'm like out walking, or I like to have something where I can sit and just kind of mindlessly just do what I'm doing and watch TV or read a book or something like that. I like having something that is a little bit more intricate to keep me interested. But I think the main thing that I need to do right now is just dwindle that down a little bit, so I maybe have one of each type of project versus I have a few of each type of project right now, and I just kind of want to get things a little bit more organized and downsized. So currently I was able to finish the hat that I have. I mentioned this yesterday, but the brim is made of my own hand spun, and then the remainder of the hat is just a one by one rib made from wool of the Andes sport weight in the color coal. And I finished that last night and I think it turned out pretty well. I'm actually really excited. I think that it really showcases the hand spun that I made. And this is, I think, my third attempt at hand spinning, and I did it all in a drop spindle, so I'm actually really proud of how that's turned out. I do still have some remaining, and I'll be using that hopefully in a cuff to knit up some gloves. Now that I've finished a project, between each project that I do, I actually take some of my yarn that I am not using for myself. Maybe it was something that was given to me as like somebody's excess stash that they had, and so people will oftentimes hand things off to me just because you know, they know that I knit or crochet or whatever. And so I have a lot of extra different types of like random things. So in between the times where I'm knitting my own projects, I also add in a hat. We have a large population of unhoused people here in my city, so I like to work on hats in between my projects so that I can save those up and then either hand them out or put them in blessings boxes, or my yarn shop, my local yarn shop, takes donations, things like that. So I just want to use up those things that I have that may not get used otherwise for something that could hopefully benefit someone down the line. And our winters can get pretty rough here, and since we have such a large unhoused population, I just want to make sure that I'm at least doing something that I can do and making sure that I have something, especially because I'm not utilizing it for anything else and it can keep someone warm. So that's what I'm doing. I do hats, and then I also have thought about doing some scarves and maybe even some mittens as well. But I don't know how I'm gonna do that based on what I have, because I don't have a super excess. I just have a few extra things here and there. So I think I could probably get quite a few hats out and then maybe quite a few mittens, but I'm not sure how many scarves I could manage with that amount. But maybe a cowl or something like that could be helpful. So we'll see. But all of that to say, the next thing that I'll do is knit a hat for that collection that I'm putting together for the winter time. Once I get done with that, I will pick another project that I have half finished and I will go ahead and complete that one, and then the cycle will continue. And so hopefully tomorrow I'll have a hat to show you, and the following day, maybe, fingers crossed, another half finished project. Some of the projects that I have are bigger, some of the projects that I have are really small, and honestly I could probably just crank out in a few hours. This hat took a little bit longer than my normal hats do because I knit it at a sport weight on a really tight gauge. And even the like fingering weight hats that I've done, I don't know why, but I did this at a much tighter gauge than I normally would do. So it's totally fine. It's super cozy, and I think it's going to be really, really great. And with it being 100%, you know, wool, it's definitely going to keep me warm in the winter time. So I'm glad that I knitted at a tight gauge, but I don't know why I chose the size needle that I did. I used a US 2, which is definitely smaller than I would have probably. I don't know. I started this a long time ago, so I'm not 100% sure why I chose a needle that size, but because of that, it is a tight gauge and there is no air getting through there, especially because it's ribbed all the way around, so it's kind of like a double layer, pretty squishy project. So that'll definitely keep me warm. But I also wanted to show you what I'm working on for Tour de Fleece. I have not spun anything today because I was just working on getting that hat completed, but I did want to show you what I'm doing this evening and what I did yesterday. So I am spinning on the EEW Nano 2.1, which is this little guy, and it's real tiny, so it works out really well for me because I'm just now learning. So this is the fourth bobbin that I've made actually on this. I did a 3-ply yarn, so this is the 4th ply that I have spun up on this little wheel, and all of the rest of the spinning that I've ever done has been on a drop spindle, so this is kind of fun and exciting. Anyway, I am doing this dark teal color. This is my 1st ply. It has a lot of variation. It's a lot of thick and thin. I'm trying to make it a little bit thicker, but I'm having some trouble getting consistent spin, so we'll see how it turns out once it's all plied up. But I do have the second half of that I need to do tonight. I will go ahead and I will do the single tonight, and then tomorrow I will ply those 2 up into a 2-ply. And then I also have a lighter color that came with the darker teal from Walnut Farm Designs, and this is a Corriedale. And so I plan on spinning this up also into a 2-ply, and then I will knit those together into a project. The project that I'm thinking of, depending on how much yardage I have, is the Pressed Flowers Scarf by Amy Christoffers. I think her brand is Savory Knitting, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So that is my current spinning project. I don't really have anything else to share today. Like I said, I'm just going to try to keep it short and sweet, and I will maybe talk a little bit more in depth about some other things as I go forward, but I kind of just want to talk about what I'm working on currently, what I've just finished within the last day, and what I am working on within the next 24 hours. But yeah, I do hope to see you tomorrow, anybody who for some reason might happen upon this video. And I hope you have a great day. I hope if you're spinning or knitting that it's all going well. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye.